Happy 2019, guys. Hope everybody's having a good start of the year. We are having a fantastic start of the year, eh? Happy 2019.
Happy 2019.
So we are on our way down the south coast, and we have finally got all our footage and all the stories and the excitement of Louisiana, and we are about to share it with you now. No. So
We left Brandon, Mississippi, which is just outside of Jackson, and stayed at a Boondockers Welcome host. Amazing host, so great with us. Took us everywhere, took us for dinner, invited us into their home. Wonderful people. And we headed to Baton Rouge, where we stayed at Port Allen RV Park for a week. It was basically it's like a work camp, so it wasn't like super glamorous or anything, but it was so clean, easy spots to get in and out of, super convenient.
Wi-Fi was great.
Super good Wi-Fi.
Best place we've seen with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, streaming, no problem.
Yeah.
And super cheap. We paid $130 to stay for the week.
Yeah.
So it was perfectly convenient for us for all the things that we wanted to do sort of on the Baton Rouge side of Louisiana. We went, we tried out really good food there too. We went to Perrine's restaurant where we first tried gumbo, fried alligator, turtle soup. Yeah. So that was really good. That came as a recommendation from the hosts at the RV park. So we went there our first night. We also went to the state capitol and USS Kidd, which is one of the naval ships. Sorry,
yeah.
That's now a museum there in Baton Rouge.
You can take a tour in there. We didn't do the tour, but for a fee you can go run through it all. They tell you all sorts of stuff, just like a normal tour. But what this is all about, this ship that you're seeing right now is large and in charge. The thing is huge.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even imagine driving that thing, let alone shooting the guns off in the back. It was just really cool.
Yeah, super cool to see. We also went, that was right on the Mississippi River and where the state capitol was as well. And we also went to the Louisiana State University campus to see the Mike the Tiger habitat. So they have, right on campus, they have an actual live tiger and a habitat there so people can come and visit and see him.
So Mike the Tiger is the mascot for
Yes.
LSU.
Yeah.
So they're on Mike the Tiger number 7.
Number 7, yes.
Yeah. So this is brand new. Like he is not 2 months old, 3 months old.
Yeah,
he was brand new.
He's still new, I think.
So Mike the Tiger number 6, rest in peace. Mike the Tiger number 7, get up because you were sleeping the whole time we were there. But
yeah, he sort of was sitting up a little bit, and the girls got to see him awake for a little bit, but then he went to sleep. So the girls actually also got to see, because we were on the campus, pole vaulting for the first time up close. That was pretty cool.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen pole vaulting up close.
Yeah, it was pretty neat actually
Yeah.
to see all the university students on the track and field course, and yeah, that was really neat. We also drove to Pierpont.
Yeah, they call it Pierpont.
Pierpont, yeah.
But the locals call it Pierpont.
So really, really fast. If you don't catch it, then you have no idea where to go.
So that is where Troy Landry from Swamp People lives. If you ever catch the show in Canada, in the United States, whatever, Swamp People, he's the main character. We went there, tried to visit him. We went to his family's local gas station that they own.
Yeah, Duffy's.
It was run down, really run down. Not what I expected, but he was gone. He was up north camping somewhere, fishing, hunting, whatever he was doing. He was up in camp, so we didn't get the chance to meet him, but it was still pretty cool to drive through that town, because it really opens your eyes to how different people live. There was amazing, beautiful houses surrounded by trailers. And it wasn't segregated like you'd think. It was just, if there's land there, you put something there. Yeah. There was no ordinance, there was no nothing that had to be built in that town or in the area around it. It just, whatever you could afford is what you put on there.
Is what you put on there.
So
yeah, exactly.
It was nice. And all the beautiful houses were all beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just neat to see.
Yeah, really cool to see. We also went to the Virgin Mary Island. We also went to Avery Island, which is where the Tabasco factory is. So basically, many, many years ago, started off as a small little company and has built to obviously an international brand, Tabasco. That was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And they have a little store there where you can try out like hundreds of different things that have the Tabasco brand on it.
It was like, remember a few videos back, bush beans?
Yeah.
How when we took you through the tour and I said there was so many different types of baked beans that you could buy. The same thing for Tabasco. In the stores where you're from, what you used to, you get 2 or 3 or 4 different brands. There was
so much stuff.
20, 30 different styles that you could get, and you bought some jelly.
I bought some like red pepper jelly to put on like crackers, cream cheese, and then Mark bought some
sweet and spicy Tabasco sauce.
So it's kind of like an Asian style, sort of almost. It was really,
awesome.
It's really good.
And I had the scorpion. I tried the scorpion Tabasco with, it was a toothpick with, it was a pretzel stick.
Yeah.
And you just dip it in and eat it. My face was burning for an hour. And I didn't even have much. So stay away from that unless you like hot food.
And then we went to the Jungle Gardens. So the Avery family also basically owns the entire island, and they've set up sort of a sanctuary, like a bird sanctuary there as well, which is really, really nice to drive through. And then we went to Cypress Island, which is basically like a wooden boardwalk that goes over top of the swamp. We didn't see any alligators there, but it was just really cool to kind of be right out in the middle of nowhere on this cool little boardwalk and over the swamp. And that kind of concludes our time sort of in the Lafayette and Baton Rouge area. And then we left there after the week and drove to New Orleans. And we stayed at our first state park. So we stayed at Bayou Saint State Park, which is basically about 20 minutes outside of New Orleans. And so you're actually camping, which was really, really nice because we've stayed in a few kind of resort places just out of convenience and stuff.
But we still haven't had our first fire yet.
No.
Of our own. We've had a couple fires with people, but to buy wood and you can't take wood out of a state park.
No.
Like anything lying on the ground, you're not allowed to take, which is kind of depressing because there's lots of awesome wood just lying around. But the wood here is expensive to buy. Like the bundles you buy at a gas station is way more money.
Even more expensive than back home.
Yeah.
And then the dollar on top of it. So it's just not worth it for us. We've had a couple fires with other people and stuff, which is really nice, but we're staying warm anyways. The weather's decent, so.
2019, cuddle more.
Yeah, right? So in New Orleans, we went to, obviously, the French Quarter. Went to Bourbon Street, which is totally different than what we thought it would be. It's really, really small. The streets are really tiny. You can barely fit one car down. Lots of construction going on. I think they're just kind of preparing for Mardi Gras, although the locals say that that's kind of under construction constantly. And just not super clean.
It's going to surprise a lot of people, but I wasn't too impressed with New Orleans. New Orleans is a nice old town, or old city, but the Bourbon Street aspect of it, I was really excited for. It was my mom's favorite place to go, but we just got back from Nashville in that type of scene, and we thought maybe Bourbon Street would be somewhat the same, and it's not even close. It's geared to adults only. And it's very narrow. The streets, my truck, if I was to drive my truck down the street, it would make it down the street, but if another car wanted to pass you, not even close. You wouldn't even get another car down there. That's how narrow the streets are.
Yeah.
So I felt kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah, definitely claustrophobic. And it's kind of like, it's a little sort of on the scuzzier side, I would say, sort of. It's not super clean and sort of like trendy and new, whereas like Nashville was a lot of fun, and it was all sort of clean and safe, and it was just a totally different vibe and totally different atmosphere.
I didn't feel very safe there. I felt safe enough to bring the kids down there for one day, but at nighttime, you do not go down there at night by yourself. 0 chances, because what the locals have said many times is do not go down there because it's very unsafe. It was, or it still is, murder capital of the world. People are waiting for you in the wings, and it's just not maybe they're there. They are there. So you got to really pay attention when you go down there.
Yeah, be safe, stay
Be
together,
safe. And use common sense.
Yeah.
If your gut tells you don't go there, don't go there.
Around Bourbon Street, though, and still in the French Quarter, we still had a good time, obviously. We went to Canal Street, which is basically like a much wider street before the trolley goes down, and it's sort of like a little sort of Vegas Strip kind of looking vibe. Lots of big hotels and big shops and shopping and things like that, so that was kind of neat. And we went to Louis Armstrong Park and Jackson Square. And we also went to Café du Monde for beignets, had our first beignets there, which you'll see a little clip of.
The girls liked them.
The girls really liked them. And then we went to a really, really nice restaurant in the French Quarter as well for dinner called Kingfish. And after we decided we'd go there just for one day, and after that we kind of decided we weren't going to go back to the French Quarter, so we found lots of other things to do in Louisiana, obviously. We went to Mardi Gras World, which is basically where all of the floats are made for Mardi Gras. They also build floats for tons of other parades and do a lot of other things, even for Disney. And it was really cool to see. So colorful, so bright, just the different ways that all of the floats are made, and the statues, and just the history basically of Mardi Gras. So that was really neat.
It was pretty neat. There was a couple buildings. They had another building that we went to that they tried to set up for
like weddings and like conferences and stuff like that.
Which was very, very well done, but they kind of shut it down. It wasn't being used enough, which is too bad because it's a pretty nice little venue. Yeah. But the floats, there was any type of float that you wanted that you can imagine was there. Yeah. It was actually quite neat, and they're huge. Yeah. And the process it takes to make these things is way beyond what I thought they were. No, I thought they were just piñata type things going down the street, but no, these are
handcrafted.
Yeah, made of styrofoam or fiberglass. You can definitely tell the difference which one's which, but it's painstaking to make these things. And as we were going through the tour, they were making them as we spoke. So we got to really see the labor intensity that went into it.
Behind the scenes. Painting is amazing, beautiful bright colors, and when they take all of the fixtures off the float, like a lot of times they reuse some of the same pieces and they transform them into something completely different, which is really, really neat to see too. They just basically scrape all of the paint off and reshape it, or just paint another face on it.
Just add a wing to it to make it an angel from like a some sort of guy. Like it's
really neat.
It's neat how they do it.
Yeah. We also had king cake, which is a big tradition there too, where they hide a baby in the cake. So that was kind of fun. And then we went on a cemetery tour to Lafayette Cemetery. Super cool because obviously in Louisiana, because it's all swamp water and all the houses are basically built on water, that they bury the dead not in the ground usually. So that was really interesting to see. We first saw a little bit of it when we were in Baton Rouge, but to see a big sort of famous cemetery was really neat. We paid a tour guide to take us like on tips basically, just to kind of take us around the cemetery. And I had like a little app on my phone, Free Tours by Foot, that kind of explained some of the same details that she did as well. But it was nice just to hear firsthand from someone who was born in Louisiana to kind of take us on a tour and talk about some of the famous things there. Double Jeopardy was filmed in that cemetery. Interview with a Vampire, some of the basically the steel mausoleum that was inspired by that movie is there. A few other little things, but
yeah, she told us a couple of ghost stories that the traditions they had, and who knows if it even happened. But yeah, she went over the difference between a ghost and a spirit. I'm still confused, but
it was really cool to see, anyways. And lots of famous people buried there, lots of history there. And there's tons of cemeteries all over the place. You can do tons of cemetery tours. The St. Louis Cemetery is the only one that you have to have a tour guide to go into. You can't even get into the cemetery without a guide. Most of the other ones you can walk around sort of freely during daylight hours, basically, and they close the cemetery down after supper time, basically. And then we also went to City Park and did the Celebration in the Oaks. They have basically it's like a carnival sort of there, and tons of Christmas lights.
So back in Rock City, we did the Christmas lights there. It was pretty much identical to the same thing.
Very similar, yeah.
But then you add a carnival into it as well. Yeah. So it was kind of bonus for the kids, I
Yeah.
guess. And you could spend hours there if you really
Yeah,
want.
it was
all
really
day.
big,
It was like
yeah.
K-Days and Candy Cane Lane.
Yeah.
It was neat.
Yeah, nursery rhyme characters. They roasted marshmallows. They had pretend snow falling and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was really kind of cool. And then probably one of the highlights of Louisiana was our swamp tour. So
Yeah.
we did Cajun Pride swamp tours, which was basically about 20 minutes to half an hour away from where we were staying in Bayou Signette. And we saw, this time of year, usually you don't see a lot of alligators because obviously they're sort of dormant, especially because of the temperature. But we were lucky enough to see actually quite a few. Not a lot of big ones. We saw one really big one, and then the rest of them were sort of smaller, I
Yeah,
guess.
probably 3-4 footers.
Yeah.
Cruising around, sunning himself. But the big one was about 8 feet long.
He said it was probably about 15 years old,
Yeah.
probably.
And it
that
was
alligator.
250 pounds, he figured.
Yeah.
And it had the little baby on the back, but
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
That was probably the highlight. The kids loved it. Lots of alligators, lots of raccoons, birds. They own the land that they're on, so basically no one else can fish there, no one else can tour there, no other boats. It's really sort of private, which is kind of nice. They have their own sort of sanctuary there and take people on tour, so it was really, really cool to see. We tried lots of local food, which we talked about a little bit before, with the gumbo and alligator and turtle soup. We also tried po' boys and muffaladas.
a muffalata, holy smokes. This thing, probably the best thing I've had so far. It's just like a sandwich. So it's a big 12-inch, 14-inch bun with about 2 inches of meat, Italian meats, stacked up with this olive salad inside. And it was fantastic.
Sesame seed bun.
Yeah.
It was really good. The four of us split it. It's huge.
Yeah, it was great. And the other thing that we tried was boudin.
Yeah, boudin.
So boudin, we met up with a family. And
shout out to Sean and
Yeah.
Samantha.
Hi, guys.
They gave us lots of great
Yeah.
tips and lots of great food places to try, and had a nice campfire and good talking.
Yeah.
So thanks to them for helping us with our stay.
Yeah, they gave us they cooked us up some boudin and we tried it. And it's like a big long sausage looking thing, but it has rice and liver pate and pork
in
and
it.
all sorts. It's a little bit softer inside, and the casing is not as thick as a sausage casing, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really
We
good.
go to the store now and we buy it.
Look for boudin.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get it back in Canada. I'm going to search,
Yeah.
but if not, we'll try to bring some home.
Yeah, it was really good. And then we kind of finished it off with going to the movies.
Yeah.
We started our own little Christmas tradition, going to the movies on Christmas Day.
Yeah, and I think we might just continue that from
Yeah.
now on because we went and seen Mary Poppins. Shout out to Mary, you're fantastic. It was a great day.
Yeah. The movie theaters here are really nice. Like
Yeah.
the one we went to, like fully reclining seats, and that's just like that's the regular price
Yeah.
that you pay. They're all reclining seats. Lots of place to put your drinks and food, and the kids were just laying back like they were at home. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So that kind of concludes Louisiana for the most part. We were lucky enough, because we go to Vegas a lot, and Mark has spent some time in the casino. We had 3 free nights at a Sister M Life Resort in Biloxi at the Beau Rivage. So we were able to stay there for 3 nights, park the trailer in their
Yeah.
trailer parking there.
Yeah, they got free parking across the street. We needed a break from trailer life, get nice showers, get a comfortable bed.
Yeah, it was perfect,
Show the
actually.
girls what mom and dad do in Vegas, sort of. They sort of have a different idea of why we go down there. They had an arcade there that we spend most of our time in with the girls. It was fantastic. They're winning tickets and
Buying treasures,
it was a blast.
they had a really good time. Yeah.
And the Beau Rivage is mini Bellagio.
Yeah.
So it's oriented or it's geared off of Bellagio. It looks identical.
The signs are all the same.
Everything is the same. It's
Yeah.
just not as big, and they call it mini Bellagio actually there. So right on the Gulf,
Yeah.
we got a nice Gulf view. It was really
It was rainy there pretty much the whole
really
time.
cloudy and foggy. So the view, the pictures weren't very good, but
The view was beautiful anyways.
Yeah.
On the 14th floor, looked out over onto the pool, and I can imagine like when the weather is nice there in the spring and the summertime, I bet you the pool is just packed. Like there was even a few people, because the pool is heated, so a few people swimming in it, a few people at the hot tub, but we decided to kind of stay away. It looked too cold for us.
Yeah.
We also went to the mini lighthouse that they have there, and then the pier, and then the first time that we got to put our feet basically in the ocean was there.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we also went to the Christmas Dreams ice show. So they did like a cool show with Santa and sort of a character, lots of different characters, lots of singing, lots of...
It was like an ice capades.
Yeah, sort of ice capades.
/ like a Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. This was the Biloxi Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
It was a real ice they put in the showroom, and we were 3 rows up. The snow was flying.
Yeah, it was cool. The kids had a really good time. Lots of
really
singing
cool.
and lots of audience participation, and so that was really fun. And then we went for sushi and teppanyaki at Gia, which is basically like Japanese village.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same kind of idea.
Is it Gia or Gia?
Gia.
Yeah.
Gia.
J-I-A.
Yeah.
So it was great.
It was really good. Yeah, we had a really good chef that cooked everything for us right in front of us. Another couple that we met from Florida that come there like 4 times a year. So they always go to that restaurant and really like it. So we had a good time there too. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
Next stop is Florida.
Yeah, on our way to Florida. We're gonna have we've compiled all the best footage from Louisiana, so we're gonna roll the tape and then let you guys see what we've come across and what we have. I'm trying not to use the word experienced anymore.
Because he uses it every 2
I
minutes.
use it all the time. So what we have
Seen and done.
Seen and done. There we go. What we've seen, what we've done, what we've experienced. So.
And then we'll see you in Florida, guys.
Yeah. Enjoy. Is it good? Take a big bite. Big as you can.
This is my first beignet.
Take a big bite.
I look like me and I'm
I am covered in beignet.
Look how creepy.
Sick.
Feel the skin, boy. It's like an inner tube, like your bicycle
Oh, yeah,
tire.
it is too.
See? It's like an inner tube, see? Feel. And see the eyes? Look at eyes looking at. Look at the legs, how creepy. 3 little toes on the legs.
Little tiny T-Rex
Yeah,
legs.
yeah, but like that, huh? Look at Pop in the tripod. You give a little hug, big Pop. Yeah, looking good, looking good.
Back a little bit, Taylor.
And that's where you're from, way up north up there, huh?
Yeah.
Good, got some snow up there and all?
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay. Nice area up there. Y'all got moose hunting, so y'all can
Yeah.
relate to moose hunting, deer hunting, duck hunting. See, I'm telling the people get off, but y'all eat beaver up there too.
Yeah.
I heard they got the beaver tail, that's the pastry. Ain't there a pastry called a beaver
What are
tail?
you holding, Brinley? An alligator.
Yeah, looking good, looking good. Y'all way down south, about as far south as you can go now, huh?
Yeah.
It's named, right?
Okay,
Huh?
Taylor, you want to hold it?
Okay.
Oh no, but when I take over
Don't
the
just
wide
drop
open, it's mean. I want it to stay mean. I'm not
Okay.
gonna make no friend. That's why I don't name him. I want him to stay mean. That way when I let it go in a couple of months.
So
they're gonna
Taylor,
be
what are you holding?
Oh, relax, relax.
good. Just hang on, we just gotta give him a hug.
Sorry, can I just get it?
That's all right, come sit right here. I got the smoke in the background for you.
So what are you holding, Taylor?
Looking good, looking good. He got his little vest, that's a little church, just like a boy to house.
Okay, you want to give it to Mommy to hold it?
I have one for Halloween and different colors.
You give
I
the
got
camera
one
to
for
Taylor? Okay. Oh, he just hit himself very in the face.
With the color. Yeah.
Mom said I
That's all right. We watch all the games. They watch all the games. Y'all took it to us this year, the same good.
Mom, what are you holding?
He's so cute.
What are you holding?
Alligator. Little baby.
Yep.